Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. Good morning. I'm Jay Zawaski with Greg Boysen and Mario Tirabassi here in our West Loop studios. Hawks lose 4-2 to the Coyotes in Arizona, and we know there is a certain portion of you that is very, very happy about that outcome.
Darn.
And if you are one of those people, this was kind of the perfect Hawks game for you. Before we get into it, want to remind everybody, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well. If you're listening to the podcast, make sure you're following us or subscribed, and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Hawks had a huge edge in play in this game. The Coyotes got I would say a handful of fluky goals. And this one kind of weird bounces, weird redirections, sort of things like that. Not to take anything away from them, but hey, this is what, if you're rooting for the tank, this is what you want to see. The Hawks play well and lose. And that's exactly what happened in this one.
Perfect script following tonight for the Blackhawks. You get some good feelings early on. You get the goal, 30 seconds into the game. You control play for most of the night. You have a lead in the third period. All good things, and then it all falls apart towards the end of the game. Totally fine. Like that's I hate to continue to be like, well, it's good that they lost, but that's the reality that we're in for another 13, 14 more games, however many that's left. We're checking them off. So
April 13th cannot get here fast enough.
It's getting here quick.
The Blackhawks pull the Blue Jackets tonight, where all of a sudden they're like, nope. You know, I am
with a higher level of effort.
Yeah, they actually tried though.
I'm after watching the last few Blue Jackets games, because I have a problem. I need a social life. You cannot convince me that team is not losing games on purpose. They are actively. People talk about actively tanking. The Blackhawks built a tanking roster, but this team is trying hard every night.
Yeah.
The Blue Jackets are a bunch of suck asses.
Yeah.
And that team is so much better on paper. They literally the game was tied last night. 2:37 to go, tied at 4, and they lost 7-4.
Because Johnny Gaudreau somehow doesn't have the speed to catch Max Jones from behind.
They are actively losing games. That team should not be that bad. It's awful, just awful.
No, that roster is not nearly as bad as they're playing. No shot.
So
that's how it works.
At least the Hawks aren't trying to lose games on the ice. They're trying to lose games in the front office, but they're not trying to lose them on the ice. Whereas Columbus was trying to win games in the front office. You don't sign Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah, they're last year's Hawks.
You don't sign Johnny Gaudreau to draft Connor Bedard.
To finish worst in the league, yeah.
So maybe all those people in Calgary were right. I don't know. But, yeah, the Columbus Blue Ass Jackets. What a joke they are.
It's bad.
Just another reason to hate the entire state of Ohio.
Yeah. Sure.
No offense to anybody who's watching from Ohio. If you're one of our fans and you're in Ohio, I like you, but the rest of your state sucks.
Yeah, it'll be on the
armpit of
the
America.
CLBS Blue Jackets podcast. Is what will become for the rest of the show. But no, there are some storylines in this game. I think most noteworthy is the debut of defenseman Wyatt Kaiser, who literally did nothing, which is kind of okay when you figure he's paired with Nikita Zaitsev, who I want to spend some time on today as well. Kind of a non-factor, which I think Wyatt Kaiser is happy to take in his first NHL game.
Yeah, when you're jumping into this portion of the season, making your NHL debut, being invisible is totally fine. Mm-hmm. Just don't go out there and trip on anything and fall flat on your face. Don't cause any egregious goals with any big mistakes or anything like that. Just go out there and try and play as simple of a game as possible. And look, he showed some flashes of the raw tools that I think people should be excited about. I think he skated really well tonight with the puck on his stick in the few opportunities he did. But yeah, I mean, simple game. don't stand out in a bad way, that's a fine debut.
There was a play in the first period where it looked like Nick Schmaltz had a step on Kaiser and was going to blow past him, but Kaiser recovered quickly. I was impressed by his speed from standing still to cutting off the angle on Schmaltz. That was a nice play. That was really the one play I noticed from him that stood out. Also, when he had the puck, moved it well, accurate passing, those sort of things. But in terms of here is a specific moment, that's the one that really stood out for me from Kaiser, where he showed off his speed, showed off his stick. And look, Nick Schmaltz is a good player, and you're one-on-one with that guy, and a lot of people in the league are going to lose that matchup. And he handled himself well, forced Schmaltz behind the net into the corner, forced a turnover, and it was kind of a nothing play. But when I saw it unfolding, I said, "Oh boy, here we go." Schmaltz has a little bit of speed, and Kaiser was able to recover it and poke it away. So it was nice. It was a solid play. So hopefully more of that to come from Kaiser.
Yeah, the key with Kaiser is he didn't look over his head.
Yeah,
like he was in over his head. He didn't look nervous. He didn't look out of place. He was calm. He was smooth. Didn't look like the nerves were there. Probably helped that he was making his NHL debut in an arena actually smaller than the arena he played in college hockey.
Yeah,
I looked it up. It's not a joke. Minnesota Duluth's ice hockey arena has a capacity of nearly 6,800, which is like almost 2,000 more than was there tonight. So literally, that's crazy that the kid is making his NHL debut in an arena smaller than when he played in college.
Crowd wasn't going to be intimidating.
No, but a decent first game for the kid. Unnoticeable, which is not a bad thing. I sometimes with NHL defensemen, I compare them to NFL offensive linemen. If I don't notice you,
you're doing your job.
You did your job. Because the only time you notice an NFL offensive lineman or an NHL defenseman is when they either do something amazing or when they screw up and cost you a game.
Yep.
And he didn't do either of those things, which is fine. That's all you need him to do. Play solid. Good debut for the kid. Happy for him, and let's see where it goes from here.
Yeah, and I think with him too. I know we're all at a point in the season where any new toy is shiny and we get really excited for it. I think that we definitely have to make sure that the break is we got our foot on the brake with him, because we're not trying to anoint him as like the next big thing.
No.
Like he's coming in, he's coming in at a right time to get an opportunity to play some NHL games in the lowest of stakes and see what you got. A lot of what Alex Vlasic did last season.
This season's Alex Vlasic, yep.
And you know what? He might follow the exact same path and play the last 13, 14 games here and play all next year in Rockford, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, he's not the kind of prospect that the rebuild is hinged on.
No.
Right? If he puts things together, he could be a bottom two pair kind of guy, or if all the guys they expect to develop, Vlasic, Phillips, Allen, Del Mastro, Korchinski, and Seth Jones will be there. Obviously, he's a piece you could trade if he does well in Rockford or wherever. So, Wyatt Kaiser's not one of the guys that really, this guy has to develop like a Lucas Reichel. He's a nice piece that could be a little more than expected. But like you said, anybody new, anybody who could potentially be here when the games matter again is exciting to watch.
Yeah.
No.
It gives you something else to pay attention to, for sure.
Yeah, you want to see, hey, can this kid be part of it? We know that, hey, when this team's playing a playoff game again, Connor Murphy's not going to be here anymore. We know Jared Tenorti is not going to be here when his team's in the playoffs.
No.
So it's nice to say, hey, this guy, maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
I would totally expect him to be in Rockford next year, because next year is going to be the time for Alex Vlasic, Isaac Phillips. If they still think Alec Regula as an NHL future, those are the guys that are going to get the extended looks at the NHL, and then let Kaiser go down to Rockford and be what Isaac Phillips was this year.
Yeah.
Top pairing guy. Let maybe Del Mastro or Allen, if they're playing AHL. Is Del Mastro still too young?
Del Mastro could next year, yeah.
I think Allen can too.
Yes.
So
Allen
those two
can.
guys.
Korchinski's the only one that
Right.
is age restricted.
NHL.
So those two guys are going to
not
be
juniors.
in Rockford. I don't see them going back to juniors for their over a year.
No.
So you got
Not worth it.
So you'll have Allen, you'll have Del Mastro, you'll have Kaiser. Those are your top three guys. They'll probably sign another veteran or two. Maybe Adam Clendening comes back again.
Sure.
Or maybe TJ Brennan wants another
Yeah,
shot at
right,
it.
yeah.
Or you can see if
Cody
Cody
Franzen?
Franzen wants
Is he
to come
still
back.
playing?
He's in Europe, I think.
There you go. Bring him back.
So yeah, Kaiser. Let's see what he does for these last few games, and then we'll see what happens. But a good start and build off of it.
Yeah. We should also talk about his defensive partner, Nikita Zaitsev. And Greg, I know you had some comments on that pairing itself, and we'll get to it. But as much as he's been a punchline, and his first few games were pretty bad for the Hawks, he sort of found his way a little bit here too. And as we're saying with Kaiser, not super noticeable, but he's been physical. In this game, he was credited with 3 hits. I think last game he had 6, 5, something
5
like
or
that.
6, yeah.
He has not been a complete disaster, which is good to know because he'll probably be here next year. He's got another year on that contract.
Yeah.
But a guy who we're all like, oh God, you take back the asset to take on the player, and you just say, all right, let's just bury him on a bottom pair. But he's been okay the last couple games.
He's been unnoticeable too. Like he's been fine. I always look in the hit column, and he's always got like 4, 5, 6 hits. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't remember seeing any of those.
Yeah.
But, no,
Yeah.
he's been okay. At first, when the pairings came out this morning, I was a little, and you guys want us to be both ways here. Coming to criticism, we love Luke Richardson. We're all big fans of him, but I was kind of like, what are you doing there, Luke? Why are you pairing Kaiser with Zaitsev, arguably your worst defenseman right now? Like I would have been much happier to see him paired with Seth Jones or Connor Murphy.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense. But it's Luke Richardson wanting to win every game.
Right.
He doesn't want to break up those top 2 pairs because they played well. They've won 2 in a row. If it's not broke, don't fix it type of mentality. So that kind of has me like, well, screw that. You got to develop these kids. So maybe Seth Jones and Caleb Jones could be broken up for a game. It's not the end of the world. But in my face, it wasn't a disaster.
Yeah, right.
So, this morning I was a little like, man, that shouldn't – I don't like that move. But it worked out fine.
Well, I mean, look, I think you could see both sides of it. Luke's point of, hey, these 2 pairs are playing well together. Why would we break them up? And your point of, why would you put a kid out there with the worst defenseman on your team? They're both valid. And I kind of was before the game siding with you, thinking, yeah, you're right. I don't want to put this kid and hang him out to dry. But again, Zaitsev's been okay, and I'm sure Luke is watching the film with more detail and more information than we ever will, and is making a decision. I don't think Luke had any intention of putting him in a bad situation either.
Right.
So.
And I don't think Zaitsev is nearly as bad as we all thought he was going to be.
What's the money? The money is why he was so criticized.
Well, he got the big deal in Toronto.
Yeah.
So somebody's got to be a scapegoat in Toronto when their core piddles down their leg every year. Somebody's got to take the heat, and it was Zaitsev. And he goes to Ottawa, another city that's probably not easy to play in.
Right.
Expectations. And yeah, he got signed to a contract way more than he should have ever gotten. That's not his fault. It's Kyle Dubas' fault.
Yeah.
So somebody sent me a message when the Hawks traded him, someone from Ottawa, and said, he's not as bad. If you just go by what people say on Twitter, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. He's not that bad. Is he a top pairing guy? No. But he's been fine. And there's no pressure here. For the first time in a long time for him, no pressure.
If a team traded for Caleb Jones and went to Blackhawks Twitter and looked at the comments about Caleb Jones, they'd be like, oh, my God, this guy must be horrible. And it's just not the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bottom pair guy in most situations, but he's fine most nights. He'll make mistakes now and again, but, he's not like a disaster by any means. So, never let Twitter influence your hockey thoughts too much.
Except when we tweet
that's for damn sure.
we're always
unless it's from us.
We're always
of course. Speaking of Twitter, little side note. Tonight, the San Jose Sharks had their Pride Night, and the James Reimer controversy aside, when you get a free minute, go to the Sharks Twitter account And look at what they did during the game. Instead of using putting up game updates and things like that, they gave all sort of statistics about LGBTQ plus people and athletes and all those sort of things. It was really informative. It was really good. And you want to talk about how you handle a Pride night without just like paying it lip service. The Sharks did a great job. And the fact that James Reimer didn't want to do it, the Sharks said, okay, make your statement. Go out there and say what you want to say. And he did, and he's going to have to face whatever reaction he gets. But just what the Sharks were doing tonight on their Twitter was really, really good. So go check it out. Really informative. And, you know, if you have complicated feelings about it for whatever reason, read some of the facts the Sharks put out there. It was fantastic stuff. It was really, really good.
Yep. We'll see how the Blackhawks, their Pride night is their next home game a week from today, now that it's Sunday. Against the Canucks.
Yeah.
So
26th.
Be interesting to see where they go. We were told they're going to go above and beyond this year. So we'll see how that turns out. Based on every other one of their special theme nights, I expect an awesome night. You know, the atrium will be full of good stuff, and they'll have their messages on the board throughout the game. The Blackhawks, I'll give them credit. They always do a great job, whether it was the Black History Month night, the heritage, the Native American Heritage Night, was
and the whole
amazing.
Month,
really, the whole month, yeah.
But the specific night at the end of that month, or was it the beginning, whatever it was great. And they always do a good job when they're dedicating a night to a cause. So I do expect them to go above and beyond.
We've got some super chats to acknowledge before we take our first break of the show. We've got one from XX Foreign Empire, who says $2 for the Grateful Dead shirt. Go Hawks. All right, sweet. I'll wear this more often.
Nice.
Thank you, Foreign Empire. Appreciate that. And Young Dangle God with the $10 super chat for Jay Zawaski, a.k.a. the DraftKings Wizard. Yes, I gave my pick of the week the other day. It was yesterday. It was the Rangers minus 1.5. They beat the Penguins 6-0 tonight.
Lousy Penguins.
I'll be honest with you guys. When I read that, my brain said plus 1.5 for the Rangers. And then when it came time for the pick of the game or the pick of the weekend, I looked at it, I'm like, oh shit, it's minus 1.5. Well, I got to go for it now. And I went for it, and it happened to be right. So I will take the credit, but I got to be honest, because my Catholic guilt will just eat away at me if I'm like, I knew that was going to happen. I thought the Rangers were getting a goal and a half. I'm like, well, that's free money. No, they were giving a goal and a half, but it happened to work out, so I'm super smart. So trust me.
It didn't sound right when you said it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
But it was a Rangers.
That's why
bet,
I was
so
like, well, that's
out.
a good bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tuned out.
Yeah, well, it worked out, so everyone's
You know
happy.
Hey, but you know what else you won besides more money in your DraftKings account? You won the right to do the pick of the week next week.
Hey, this time I'll be a little more. I'll be right.
You actually pay attention if it's a plus or minus.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why. I don't know.
I have made that same mistake though.
Yeah,
I have.
Maybe we have now found out the reason that your account went down to 0.
That could be.
You were getting
some people are colorblind.
You're getting your spreads wrong.
Some people are colorblind. Jay can't tell the difference between a plus and a minus sign.
Yeah,
they both look the same.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. As soon as I looked at it, I actually wrote it down correctly, and I think I saw it correctly, and I wrote it correctly, but my brain did not comprehend it correctly until it was time to do the actual pick of the week. I'm like, oh shit. Well, here we are. YOLO. Got to do it. Anyway.
Maybe you were distracted by
that final
pizza.
Score didn't matter.
No, yeah, it's fine. 6-0. Beautiful.
Worked out.
So enjoy your money, young Dangle God. I saw he bet $80. I think he bet 80 and won $220.
Whew.
Yeah. Wow, you are lucky that worked out.
And yet you can only give us a $10 super chat? Come on, man.
All right, you want to sell us some beer, Mario?
Sure.
Do it.
Do you guys want to buy some Goose Island? It's great.
Yes.
It is the official beer of us here at CHGO Goose Island, Chicago's beer company since 1988. They have a deep and talented roster that can challenge for a championship no matter how you stack it up. Of course, the Blackhawks Pale Ale, the limited release, honoring the great hockey team in this city with a great tasting beer and a great looking can. Also doing the same thing for the Bulls City 312, limited release for that delicious beer as well. And, of course, if you like your stout beers, they got the Bourbon County Stout. They got the Beer Hug IPA series, the Green Line, the Matilda, of course, the 312, and the No Plans Pale Ale for your Sunday enjoyment when you have no plans, like I realized I did. It's a good time to crack one of those open. Always a good time to crack open a Goose Island beer at their 2 local locations. You can grab a beer from their innovation tanks at the Goose Island Tap Room at 1800 West Fulton, or you could pair a smash burger with a fresh beer of the week at the original Clybourne Brewhouse at 1800 North Clybourne. For reservations and pickup, you can go to gooseisland.com/locations. That's the Goose Island Beer Company.
Guys, how many times this year have we been watching a game and a guy's got a gaping net right in front of his face and his stick breaks when he tries to take a shot?
I believe that happened to Andres Athanasiou tonight.
Yeah, it happens more than you'd like. And
Tell me about it.
You know, with that in mind, everybody wants a better sex life. And up to 50% of men have symptoms that get in the way of wanting or enjoying sex. And if you want a better sex life, you are not alone. Roman is here to help you not have your stick break when you have a gaping net right in front of you. All right? You don't want your stick to fail. Roman will help. They are the digital health clinic for men, addressing a variety of sexual health needs, and offer genuine medication that help achieve and maintain a strong, like bull erection, which is what you want. You don't want a weak one. You want a strong one. Mm-hmm. No woman's ever said, man, that is weak. Nice. No, that's not what happens. They want a strong erection.
And pizza.
So I hate you so much. All right. So get yourself a strong one. Oh my God. In men with low T, getting testosterone levels back to normal can help increase your libido. And Roman offers a testosterone test, which includes lab processing. And if it's appropriate for you, treatment for low T. There's no waiting rooms, no hassle, straightforward digital experience from the comfort of your home. If medication or testing is appropriate, Roman will send it directly to your door. Everything arrives in discreet packaging with free 2-day shipping. The box does not say boner medicine. It is discreet. Okay? No one's going to know what's in that box except you. You want a strong stick. To learn about how you can achieve a strong stick and achieve your personal sexual health goals, go to ro.co/CHGO to get 20% off your entire first order. That's ro.co/CHGO.
Greg, I think your mic needs a little
I was just
Roman.
going to say, my mic needs
Your
a
mic
little.
needs Roman, yeah.
It's a little wobbly. It definitely needs to be a little stiffer.
Just rub the wipe on there and it'll be
There you
ready
go.
to go.
Yeah, my microphone, this mic definitely needs
4 times as long.
needs a pill.
Yeah.
It's a little nervous.
It happens.
It's
It
shy.
happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
exactly.
the lights go on, never mind.
And these lights are bright.
Just let's move on. Let's talk about hockey.
Yep.
We were sticks and pucks.
Go ahead, Greg.
Want to talk about hockey?
You derailed me. You got in my head, so to speak.
It was too easy, man. I'm sorry.
Can't share anything.
Well, you've learned
We're
your
just-
lesson.
Yeah, I know. I know.
We're just 3 guys who like pizza. That's the bottom line.
All right, that's enough. All right, why don't we get to our 4 stars of the game so we can start doing something
Good
else?
segue.
Thank you. Oh my God, I hate you guys. The 3rd star of this game for your Coyotes, Barrett Hayton. He had a goal +2. He had 2 shots on goal. Well done, young man. Good job.
Why are you hating?
Your number 2 star, Clayton Keller, who is freaking lighting it up. A goal, 2 assists, +3, 21-34 of ice time, 3 goals. I'm sorry, 3 shots and 3 more shot attempts.
That kid would be a household name if he played on any other team.
Yes,
He's
he
a
is
superstar.
quite good.
Very good.
And your number 1 star, Juuso Valimaki, he had 3 points as well, +2, 4 shots on goal, 4 more shot attempts and 2 hits and a block shot. He was excellent too.
The game-winning goal, even though for about the first 10 seconds we all thought it was Nick Schmaltz.
But Clayton Keller,
Would have been better if it was Nick
32 goals and 43 assists. That kid is good.
He's got something like 34 points in like his last 18 games or something like that. Like he's on a tear.
He is single-handedly killing the tank.
Yeah.
He really
I don't want to play with that Connor Bedard kid because then I won't be the best player on this team anymore.
If any Coyotes fans want to blame anyone for ruining the
it's
tank,
Clayton
it's your one-star player, Clayton Keller.
Definitely.
Yeah, but him and Logan Cooley are going to be fun to watch.
Sure.
Yeah.
And whoever they pick 11th this year.
Yep.
Delete Dvorsky.
My 4-star of the game is going to go to number 16, Jujhar Khaira. He had a goal in this one, 15:31 of ice time, 1 shot, so that's 100% shooting. He had 5 hits and a takeaway. Not so much his performance in this game, but I just think that whole line has been really good together. And since he's returned from injury, he's been pretty solid. He's put together some really good games, and you have to wonder, like, if Jujhar Khaira was a guy who had been healthy all year, or maybe like healthier leading up to the deadline, if he would still be on the Hawks. Because that's the sort of guy, when you look at, you're a playoff team, you want to add some depth. That guy's got a lot of experience, super high character player. He's physical. He can kind of do everything you need him to do, aside from score with any consistency. But, you know.
That's not his game.
Yeah, you're looking to add a bottom 6 guy. But I'm glad he's here. Good dude. Good for the locker room, and good to see him playing well after the injury. Because it's been a pretty frustrating run for him in Chicago. We talk about Tyler Johnson with injuries. Jujhar Khaira's had his share as well.
Yeah. Some serious back and concussion issues that have kept him off the ice. But yeah, good to see him get rewarded tonight. And it's good. Those are the kinds of guys that you like to see at this point of the season. Be like, hey, there you go. There's a goal. There's a good game. There's a good performance. Like it makes those guys the effort all year that they've had to go through get rewarded at this point where you're playing more than you were earlier this year. You're getting more opportunities than you were earlier this year. Like Boris Kachuk on the power play today. Like that's going in the document. Like guys like that. It's this time of year. That's good for them to get rewarded.
Yeah, another reason why I like Jujhar Khaira is we share something in common. We both hate Jacob Trouba.
Sure. Yeah.
So that bonds us. My 4-star.
Him and a lot of people.
Yeah, pretty much everybody. My 4-star of the night, I'm going to go with Jason Dickinson. Talk about a line that was really good tonight. That line was just all over the place tonight. Yeah, he was a -2, but, that's kind of what we want these days. But he led the team. Well, him and somebody we'll hear from in a second led the team with 6 shots on goal. He had a block shot. He had a hit. And he was 14 of 17 at the faceoff dot tonight. 82% faceoff. The Blackhawks won 62% of the draws tonight. This was a concern of mine. No Taves, no Max Domi, and they've still been holding their own at the dot. Everybody was, you had Dickinson carrying the line, and then it wasn't that great after that. But when one guy wins 82%, the rest of your team can win 62%. So Jason Dickinson, he's been a heck of a pickup this year. It was kind of a guy that you were just like, he was a throw-in to get, it was a salary cap dump. But we got Jason Dickinson and a second-round pick for Riley Stillman. So, another one of those fleeces that we keep hearing about. But he's been a really good setup, real good fit here. I think it's the guy, he'll be here next year. And, Luke Richardson likes him a lot because he can play him with anybody. He seems to just get instant chemistry no matter who he plays with. And the stuff, if you haven't read what our buddy Ben Pope at the Chicago Sun-Times wrote about him earlier this week, really interesting stuff. He's like a general manager in training. Like he's loves the trades and the salary cap stuff. He's all about it. So, look for him in a front office role when his playing career is done.
Yeah, it's not always the superstars that end up being successful in those roles. Yeah, it's the guys.
Usually the career fourth liner, minor league guy.
The guys that had to change and adapt and fight to stay in the league and play the non-glorious roles. Those are the guys that seem to have more of the minds for the game rather than just get away on the raw talent. My 4th star of the night is going to go to a line mate of Jason Dickinson's, Tyler Johnson. Again, he was a -2, but that happens. No points tonight, but he was doing the best he could, doing everything he could. 18 minutes, 52 seconds of ice time, 6 shots on goal, an individual expected goals rate of .88. That is by large the biggest rate of the season, or I'm sorry, biggest rate of the game tonight for Tyler Johnson. Next behind him was Jason Dickinson at .29, so almost a whole .6 higher than the next guy behind him. 8 individual chances created, 7 individual scoring chances created, 3 individual high danger chances created. Tyler Johnson was everywhere but the back of the net tonight, so he was.
Thank God for that.
Yes, he was trying really hard, and he was getting frustrated, but his efforts were rewarded with the 4th star of the night.
Somebody posted in the comments earlier that Tyler Johnson has been playing red ass lately. Yes, he has.
Yeah,
definitely.
He's been all areas. Gravely Diggs said it. Yeah, we've used that red ass term a few times in the last few post game shows. He's been very noticeable and effective, and good for him. Tyler Johnson's one of my favorite guys in that Blackhawks locker room, and just all the injury bad luck he's had. It's good to see him playing at a high level again.
We've got some quotes rolling in. This one from Luke Richardson via Ben Pope on Wyatt Kaiser. Quote, "He was everything we heard about him. He's competitive. He's not afraid to get in there, and his feet are really good for his speed. So he surprised a few guys." That's just what we were talking about.
So
good.
Our feet weirdos will love him.
Yeah, show feet.
He's got great feet.
Show
player.
good feet.
Great feet.
Yeah. So that's good to hear. And Richardson on the game overall, we didn't make many turnovers, but when we did, they were at the wrong time. We're getting better in those areas, and unfortunately tonight, the 1 or 2 we did make, Keller and those type of creative players around the ice made us pay for it. That's accurate. They played a very solid game, a very sound game, and just came up on the losing end, which is probably ideal for what the Hawks are trying to do right now. The other bit of news, the Blackhawks, if you were holding out hope, have been officially eliminated from playoff contention.
Son of
They're not going to make the playoffs, everybody.
For that 17-game winning streak to get in the playoffs.
We suck again.
That's right. We suck again. So just know that is now there's no shot.
Speaking of which, the Coyotes are now this exact same amount of points away from the second wild card as they are from the worst record in the league.
That's crazy.
It's not a spot you want to be in.
No, they have really
Well,
screwed this.
yes, but you can see the light at the end of the Coyotes tunnel a little bit.
Right, until they trade all those guys.
Exactly. If unless they choose,
And that light is in Houston, Texas.
yeah, right. They choose not to re-sign them, or they trade them all like they always do. But they've got a good collection of young talent, like Keller. You mentioned Logan Cooley. They're still going to pick
They're all
pretty
going to go
high
on
this
and
year.
have success with other organizations.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah.
Until they do something different, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not making fun of them.
See,
it's
that was
stating facts.
that was my whole thing this year, where people are like, "Well, the Blackhawks don't deserve the number 1 pick because they're clearly tanking." So if you're using that logic, what about the Coyotes, who have never ever tried to win?
I would say never ever.
I mean,
Early in their history,
because
when they got Roenick.
yes,
and
because they had to, though, because
and-
they had to make an impact on their new
Because they were an
market.
expansion.
right.
They had to bring in star players to sell tickets. They did that, and then once that was over,
Yeah, once that, yeah. In the last 20 years.
well, in fairness, they got Chris Pronger, Pavel Datsyuk, Marian Hossa.
they've been trying.
Shea Weber.
They just had the worst luck. They keep
Yeah, it's
getting
crazy.
these
They
guys
They keep
that
getting
are
these
hurt.
guys who are hurt
They
or
can't play.
retired.
It's weird.
It's just nothing. Bad luck.
Bad luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
but,
bad luck.
they had that one run at the Hawks' expense
Yeah.
when Mike Smith found the golden horseshoe up his ass.
Yeah, the Hawks played like shit in that series.
Yes,
too.
they did. And,
5 or 6 games into overtime.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
series?
Yeah.
And the Hawks were out shooting them like 50 to 20, and just
That was when my
ridiculous.
hatred for Mike Smith really blossomed, because it was like, you're not this good.
yes. Stop it. Start sucking. What's wrong with you? Back to the Roman Reed. Yeah, that was one of the most frustrating hockey series I've ever watched, and let's never talk about it again.
That's fine.
Because
The
that
next
was
year
when
was
Rafi
the next year was
Torres almost
better.
killed Hossa too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next year went better.
Pud whack. And Powell Z808 says, "Don't forget the Coyotes had Patrick Kane. They did for a second.
They did,
That's
yes.
true. Yes,
Yeah.
they did. Put him up. Give him a
Forgot
banner
about
too.
that.
Give him a banner too.
Hey, he can be on the alumni team when they host the outdoor game. They are going to have the greatest alumni team ever assembled.
It's gonna be fun. I
They
would
should
go to
play the
that.
Coyotes alumni team against the St. Louis Blues alumni team. For all those guys that played like 8 games, like
Yeah.
Martin Brodeur and Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky, yeah.
Like all those guys. That'll be a great game.
All right, we've still got our tank standings and our tankathon spins to do. I know it's late night. We've got a good number of people in here. We appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit that like button for us. We got 52 right now. What do you think, fellas? 65? Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
69.
65 is
We're
attainable.
under 100 in the chat, which
Let's say this.
totally understandable.
Get the 65, and then for every 5 beyond that, we'll add a spin.
All right.
All right, so let's get 65 likes for one bonus spin, 70 for another, and so on and so on. And while we wait for that to happen, we're going to tell you about our friends at Pins and Aces, the official golf apparel partner of CHGO. We love our Pins and Aces gear and get tons of compliments on and off the course. Drove by the golf course today and was like, nope,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
During the snowstorm?
Today was bullshit, and I hated
Yeah,
it.
today sucked.
Anyway, they're family-owned golf and apparel business. They make amazing polos, hats, golf bags, and even our favorite, the beer sleeve, an innovative product that allows you to store 7 beers right inside your golf bag and beef sandwiches and keep
Those
drinks
4
cold
and 3 more.
the entire round. Check out pinsandaces.com. Use the code CHGO to receive 15% off your first order and get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com. And if our friends at Pins and Aces are listening, please send us a beer sleeve. I'm going to give it the beef sandwich test.
Give it the beef test.
I'm going to
Look
put
out.
7 beef sandwiches, or maybe 6, depending on where we get it from, and see how warm they stay. It's got to work. If it keeps beer cold, it's going to keep beef sandwiches warm.
Let's just buy one on our own.
I believe that theory would be correct because it's just insulate. It's just insulation.
Right, it's
So
insulation.
it's just like, when you have a hot cold bag,
Yeah.
whatever temperature is, it'll keep at that temperature.
Or to hold one of Steven's lunch sandwiches.
I don't know.
That's
is it
true.
that-
All right,
One
they're
party
not that
sub.
big a sandwich.
One party sub cut into
Steven
9
has a party sub
portions.
every meal. It's great.
He's got high metabolism. He's
Yeah.
still young.
Yes.
All right. Where were we? I was distracted by
You're telling
beef.
people how to
Yeah.
save money and energy.
Yes, yes. Well, when you're done stuffing your beef sleeve, you can give our friends at ComEd a call and get yourself a facility assessment and start saving money and energy. That's 2 good. Those are 2 things you want to save on. ComEd
things I don't have
offers
a lot of.
Yeah, ComEd offers free facility assessments that can help find energy saving opportunities, whether it's lighting, HVAC systems, commercial kitchen equipment, or industrial processes. An authorized engineer will work with you to develop a detailed assessment plan specific to your goals and needs. These can be done in person or virtually and last approximately 2 hours. Within 3 to 4 weeks, customers will receive a report detailing energy efficiency projects that they can start working on immediately. Each recommendation will include an estimated energy savings, cost savings, project cost, and potential incentives and simple payback. Don't wait. Start saving money and energy right now. For energy saving tips and to schedule your free facility assessment, go to comed.com/poweringbiz, B-I-Z, poweringbiz. If you're ready to sign up for a facility assessment, call ComEd during normal business hours, which is not right now, at 1-855-433-2700. No one will answer the phone now, but if you wait till Monday morning, they will. And speak with a ComEd Energy Efficiency Program representative. You can always email businessee@comed.com or request an assessment on their website.
Yeah, do that. That's a good idea.
Do that.
All right, shall we?
We got to address something in the chat.
What happened?
People don't know what this book is sitting in front of me.
They know.
So, Jay, can you elaborate on what this book is in front of me?
Yes. During COVID, I wrote. It wasn't during COVID. It was published during COVID. I wrote it pre-COVID. COVID would have been a great time to write a book.
It would have been.
But I wrote it
Where's the sequel?
pre-COVID, came out during COVID, so I did not have any opportunity to do any book signings or appearances or anything like that. However, I sold my book directly, and a lot of people bought it. So if you have already, thank you. But if you'd like to, it's called The Big 50, The Men and Moments That Made the Chicago Blackhawks. And it's a bit of a history lesson with a bit of a personal touch in it. I tell some, tell you about the greats players, the great moments, but I also talk about my life as a hockey fan in there a little bit. So if you like this show, I'd assume you would like the book. so you can get it wherever books are sold, including the big evil corporations. But I will beg of you, if you have a local bookseller, to get it from them, because they need your help and they need your support. And if they don't have it in stock, they'd be happy to order it. Or you can go to bookshop.org. That website helps small booksellers make money. So bookshop.org. If you don't have a local bookstore by you, go pick it up there. I live in Homewood. There is a Bookies in Homewood. There is also a Bookies on Western Avenue in Beverly Mount Greenwood. I never know.
On Western Avenue.
Yeah, not the guy that's going to break your legs. The guy that's going to sell you books. That's about 104th in Western, I would say, probably about. So
Right next to a car dealership, I bet.
no, you're at the wrong part of Western.
Whatever.
It's by a bar. That
close.
part of Western.
No, that
the parade route.
Okay.
Yeah. But I know the two Bookies, especially the one in Homewood, has signed copies if you're looking for one. Or if you want one, just DM me and we'll figure out a way to get you one.
Shout out to Scott who says he just got one. Mario, could you hold it up so I could get you the close up on the
Lord.
camera here? We gotta plug your book.
I'm very uncomfortable with all this.
There it is. Buy the book.
Big 50.
Thank you.
Big 50.
All right.
By Roman.
Thank you. And Lebowski says he's got his at Anderson's in Naperville. Great store, too. Love Anderson's.
Nice.
I did a virtual appearance with them, so that was fun. So
They made
Barbara's
you-
bookstores, even like Barnes & Noble, I think, now counts as a small bookstore.
Does it
because
really?
they just got clobbered by the other place. So
yes.
yeah, any time you can buy anything from a local place, do it. But especially media, records, books.
Yeah.
They need your support, and they help sustain communities. So help them out. All right, that's enough. Very uncomfortable promoting myself. All right, let's get to the tank. We got 71 likes, so we got
Ayo.
2 bonus spins.
Nice.
So let's check it out. All right. The Columbus Blue Assets have 49 points in 68 games. They are freaking horrible.
Yes.
They're bad.
The San Jose Sharks are.
Jose.
I'm going to let you do all the ass names. They have 52 points in 70 games. Got one for the Hawks? The Chicago Ass Hawks?
No, I'm not. I like my credentials, so they're just
All right,
Blackhawks.
They have 54 points in a nice 69 games.
Nice.
56 points in 69 games for the Ducks.
Assaheim
And
Ducks.
a new entrant, the Montreal
Oh.
Canadiens, with 60 points in 70 games.
The Montreal.
Boy, Arizona is way out of it.
Astrial Canadias.
There you go. So there's your tank standings. The Hawks still got a chance at the best overall, but I think it's time to start abandoning that dream. It's basically the Hawks and Sharks for number 2 at this point, because Columbus is horrible.
Yeah.
And I don't really see them getting better at all.
The way the Blackhawks are playing, it doesn't seem like they are going to lose their way down to Columbus's level. So
Probably not.
Right.
yeah. And look, hey, second overall pick, Adam Fantilli, Big Ten champion, along with teammate Frank Nazar. It's not a bad player to get.
And what we're going to learn here, too, is we got 3 spins. I
Yeah.
bet Columbus does not win all 3 times.
Yeah, what we're also going to realize that having the best odds doesn't mean shit.
Yes, exactly right. All right, spin that wheel, my friend.
Sim it up.
All right.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Montreal jumps 4 spots to get the top pick. Columbus moves down 1. San Jose. Calgary jumps 10. And the Hawks pick 5th. So
Get
there
out
you
of
go.
here, Flames. You're not invited to
It
this
just goes to
party.
show you that it doesn't mean a thing.
Wait, does this mean the Flames won? Because it
They
says
lost.
0%.
They lost in overtime.
No. It says 0% odds for
Oh,
over
yeah,
one.
they must have won.
So they must have won it, but they could only move up to 4.
Oh, yeah.
So then in the redraft, that's a horrible outcome.
yeah, that's bad.
don't like
but
that
at least
at
the
all.
Blues aren't number 1.
That's true.
We'll take that. The Blues are 10th. Beautiful. I like that. All right.
All right, let's do it
Yikes.
again.
All right,
Number 2.
reset
2
that. Let's
more.
not have that happen again.
No, that sucks. All right, so there Columbus wins. Vancouver jumps 6 spots to go number 2. San Jose and Chicago and Anaheim are the 3, 4, 5. All right, so again, another
Jesus.
example of a jump.
I don't like that.
And remember, the Hawks jumped 5 spots for Patrick Kane when they got
All right,
him.
well, Columbus
true.
got number
Let's-
1. Let's do our last
All right,
one here. Let's end with the
start
Hawks.
this.
Come on, we
We
haven't had a
got,
Hawks in
we
a
got
while.
another one earned too, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We haven't had a Hawks one in
Fire
a
it
while.
up.
We're due.
Come on.
There it is.
Chicago jumps 2 spots. Columbus moves down 1. San
Suck
Jose
it,
moves down
Columbus
1.
ass jackets.
There you go. Hawks, Jackets, Ducks.
Only the bottom 3 were affected.
And we've got one in the bank now
Yeah,
because
nice.
of your
We'll
likes.
save
We
that one.
appreciate
Way to
that.
go.
But before we go,
Way to go, team.
we've got a name. Our DraftKings
Yes, we
King
do.
of the Game.
Sure do.
The King of the Game was Wyatt Kaiser. Congratulations on his NHL debut.
And wearing an alternate Blackhawks jersey.
Yes.
Yes. You can find that at your local Jewels.
He had a block shot. I think it was actually 1540 of ice time in his first career. You're looking at Lucas Reichel. That is a confusing box score. 1540 for him. And he had a hit. He had a block shot. Welcome to the NHL, Wyatt Kaiser. We look forward to watching you grow into a really good hockey player. We would appreciate
That'd be
that.
nice.
And remember, friends, the DraftKings Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of CHGO and All City. They've got those NBA no sweat same game parlays. Major League Baseball is 12 days away.
That'd be fun.
Get those preseason bets in.
It's creeping up.
If you follow us, the pick of the week was a hit because I made a mistake, but it worked out anyway. Download the app now. Use the code CHGO. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, with code CHGO. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for details. We're going to wrap things up. We are off tomorrow.
I want to do a quick shout out.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Nazar, Big Ten champion.
Yeah.
Drew Comezzo and Ryan Green, Hockey East champions tonight. Drew Comezzo named to the Hockey East All-Tournament team. Dominic Bassi, NCHC champion, although he didn't play in the semifinal or the final. But yeah, some Blackhawks college prospects lifting some conference hardware. And I believe we have the NCAA tournament teams. Let me find that real quick from our friend of the program, Chris Peters. This is the seeding for the NCAA tournament. Top seed Minnesota, Quinnipiac number 2, Michigan number 3, Denver number 4, Boston number 5, St. Cloud State number 6, Harvard 7th, Penn State 8th, Ohio State 9th, Michigan Tech 10th, Michigan State 11th, Western Michigan 12th, Cornell 13th, Merrimack 14th, Colgate 15th, and Canassus 16th. So
And asses.
yeah,
No, they actually made the playoffs. It doesn't apply.
so
I think the
that's-
state of Michigan has some pretty good odds of winning.
Yeah,
something
they-
here. They've got half the field,
they have 1/4, at least 1/4 of the field.
and Minnesota only has one team, which is weird.
Yeah, plenty of Blackhawks prospects in there. Nazar, Aiden Thompson, Green and Comezzo. Jake Wise is in there for his last hurrah in college hockey for the 6th year. Yeah, a lot of guys in there.
And if you missed it, Adam Fantilli set a Big Ten record for most goals and most points in a tournament. This year, he earned the most outstanding player. He had 7 goals and 11 points.
Too bad he wasn't the player of the year in the conference, though.
Yeah, very weird.
Yeah, well,
All right, we're back
Maple
Monday
Leaf
post game.
bias.
Who are they playing Monday? I haven't looked that far ahead.
They play Colorado Monday.
Colorado.
That's right.
Yep, we're hitting the All City Network,
This is-
the double.
We should have been on the road for this one, but that's okay. We would have missed this wonderful, wonderful weather. Look, it's late. We appreciate everybody being with us. We'll talk to you Monday night on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.